Have you ever dreamed of DJing on stage at a big club or even at a huge festival? So you decided to start learning how to DJ with that beautiful picture in mind. You started to look for DJ gear and this is what you see. So you just gave up. Hey everyone, it's Teri here and welcome back to my channel. Here in this channel, I talk about dance music, basically just everything about festivals, DJs, and EDM. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also turn on notifications so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. So I bet a lot of you guys are having that dream where you can actually DJ on stage, because well, if you're watching my channel, you probably like EDM. And many people tell you to just buy some gear and learn on YouTube. Well, as much as that's true, the major problem is you have no idea what DJ gear you should get, or even worse, you have no idea what those machines do in the first place. So today I'm gonna show you from scratch what a basic DJ setup looks like, how it works, and most importantly, how you choose the gear that best fits your needs. Whether you just want to try and have a little bit fun, or you're planning on growing professional, whether you have a little budget, or you're willing to invest more, you can find your answers in this video. In today's video, we're gonna first take a look at the club standard DJ setup and learn about the differences and features of the controllers, CDJs, and the all-in-one systems. And finally, the most important part, I picked 3 different sets of gear of 3 tiers of price and features, which are all significantly more affordable than the club standard setup, but they're solid enough to help you get into DJing smoothly. So make sure you watch till the end, and let's get started. First, let's take a look at what a basic setup looks like. So when you DJ, you're gonna need a pair of speakers, a pair of headphones or earphones, and you may or may not need a computer, and finally, the whole bunch of machines where you do all the work. And that part is our topic for today. If you want me to do another video on headphones or speakers, also leave a comment down below to let me know. So you've probably seen many products on the market. They come in different brands, sizes, designs, features, and names like CDJ, DDJ, XDJ, DJM, controllers, mixers, and all those terms are just kind of floating inside your head and you get very confused and frustrated. I understand. So let's take care of this first and see what they do. Alright, so let's take a look at the club standard setup. When I say club standard, I mean what large-scale festivals and international DJs use. And it's probably gonna be the Pioneer DJ, DJ-M900, and a few CDJ-2000 Nexus 2. Because you need a few. So a CDJ is kind of like a high quality CD player that has this vinyl turntable look. And the 2000 Nexus 2 can play sounds from a USB or other digital media like the computer, and also, just like the name itself, real CDs. So all the features of a CDJ are related to playing the music. So for example, you can select the tracks on the top, you play the track with the play button, and you change the speed of the track with the speed fader, or you can jump between different parts of the track with hot cues. And you can also play a part of the track again and again with loops. And as far as a CDJ can control how you play the music, it cannot really change the sound. So that's when the mixer comes in. In the Pioneer DJ family, the name DJM are for mixers. And mixers have tons of features and knobs for you to change how the music sounds and help you mix and play around the track. So for example, each EQ knob controls a different range of the frequency spectrum. So you can play with them when you mix, so the sounds from the 2 tracks you're mixing won't crash each other. Or you can boost a certain frequency range to make your track sounds better. For example, you can boost the bass. You can also get creative and play with the effects from the sound color effects or the beat effects to heat up the build-up even more, or do that mute and sing along trick that every single top 100 DJ does. So now you have a basic setup with CDJs and a mixer. And this setup of a DJ-M900 and 2 CDJ-2000 Nexus 2s costs $6,597, with each of them retails at $2,199. And to be honest, it's expensive and pretty huge too. So with that being said, there must be other smaller and more affordable options, because not everyone can spend like $6,500 and have a huge room to store all that stuff. So here comes the controllers. So when it comes to the definition of controllers, it gets a little bit complicated, and I'll put more information down at the comment section, but today let's make it simple. In the Pioneer DJ family, controllers are like a compact version of CDJs and a mixer, and the name is often called DDJ something. So one thing they're in common is that while you can work with or without a computer on a CDJ setup, controllers have to work with a computer. So this means there is no way you can just plug in a USB stick and start playing. And on the other hand, controllers are compact and easy to carry around. So instead of 3 huge ass units, you can just carry 1 unit. So it's just really good for small parties or DJs who have to bring their own gear. Plus, they come in many sizes and prices, some of which are pretty affordable. Now you know how the basic DJ setup works. Let's get into the real business and really buy the gear. Under the extremely pricey CDJ-2000 Nexus 2 and DJ-M900 setup, I picked out 3 sets of gears of different prices and features for you guys, and I'll talk about each of them and try to focus more on their differences. So for example, how this one is better than the previous one, so you can get the idea of what's really upgraded, and also the pros and cons, and of course the price. So before we start, here's a small reminder. I'll also be comparing them to the club standard CDJ-2000 Nexus 2 and DJ-M900 setup a lot. So if you're not very familiar to this setup yet, feel free to watch that part again before you progress. So let's get started. Number 1 is the DDJ-400. If you want to get into DJing at a budget, DDJ-400 is your best choice. It retails at only $250, and it's the most affordable controller that takes on the flagship Nexus 2 setup interface with similar designs on hotkey buttons, beat effects, and looping buttons. These elements are very close to the ones from the club standard players, which allow you to develop your skills and move on to some more advanced gear with no problem. It's light and small and can be powered up directly by your computer, so no extra power sources needed. You can also choose to hear a mix from your computer's built-in speakers, which means you can work without a desktop speaker too. And here are a few things you might want to consider before you buy it. So first, it's a controller, of course, so you'll definitely need a computer. And there are a few features that require you to work on your computer instead of having like real buttons on the unit, because it's just a really small controller, like selecting the sound color effect, beat effects, and the slip feature. Also, it has only 2 channels instead of 4 like the DJ-M900 setup. But for a beginner, this is not really a problem, and you'll be surprised how many world-class DJs only use 2 decks. And I'm also performing on 2 decks too. So DDJ-400 is for those who are at a budget and working to develop your skills. You can definitely still do a pretty solid performance with it, but you might need to consider upgrading your gear in the future as you progress. But with a similar design to the club standard gear, you'll be just fine. Alright, and let's move on to DDJ-1000. So if you're planning on getting a set of gear that's basically enough all at once, DDJ-1000 will be a great choice for you. It retails at $1,199. It's definitely a lot more than the 400, but with this price you get the full-size jog wheel and the jog adjustment feature just like the Nexus 2 models. And I'll say the layout is almost exactly the same as the club standard stuff. It's a solid 4-channel controller, so you can really mix around with more elements. Also, you finally get 2 small LCDs on each jog wheel that show useful information about the track, like the waveform, hot cues, and BPM. It has 10 beat effects you can find on the DJ-M series, and 4 brand new ones called Enigma Jet, Mobius Saw, Mobius Triangle, and Low Cut Echo. I actually think the first 3 sound quite comical, but the Low Cut Echo is really great when you're trying to end one track really quickly. DDJ400, you can now find and select all these effects on the unit, and you get a small screen showing all the information about the effects, which is just like the DJM900. And there are also 4 sound color effect buttons built in. Another cool thing is that it supports dual laptop control, so it's really great for back-to-back with your friends or connecting between performers. And here are a few things you might want to be aware of. So first, remember that it is still a controller, so no matter how close it is to the Nexus 2 setup, you will always need a computer to work with. And instead of 6 sound color effects on the DJM900, there are only 4 on the DDJ1000. The great news is that you can still get the full 6 options on the computer, and you can always assign the effects to the buttons, but you just really need to remember the changes you make. So DDJ1000 is for those who want to be instantly DJ boost performance ready. If you get this, you really don't have to upgrade unless you really hate the computer. So if you own a DDJ400 and you have grown out of it, the DDJ1000 can be a great option for upgrading. And finally, the XDJ-XZ. If you're super used to the professional Nexus 2 setup and just really want to get rid of the computer, get the XDJ-XZ. XDJ is the all-in-one system in the Pioneer DJ family that comes in between controllers and CDJs. It cannot play music from CDs, but can work with digital media source like the computer or USB, which is what makes it stand out from all the controllers we just mentioned. There are 2 USB device inputs and 1 laptop input, so you really got choices when you're doing back-to-back or handing over. There's a 7-inch touch screen where you can select the track, see the information of the tracks, and look at the grids that help you beat match. They call it the standalone controller, which I think is still a little bit confusing, but you get the idea. So you can finally ditch the computer. Similar to DDJ1000, you get the full-size jog wheel with built-in display and everything you need, just like the CDJ2000 Nexus 2. When it comes to the mixer, I'll say it's pretty much the same thing as the DJM900, with the same 4-channel layout and knobs and buttons, and this time all 6 sound color effects on the unit. The master output EQ knobs make a huge plus if you're performing, meaning that you can exclusively adjust the sounds according to the conditions of the venue and its stereos. It also supports the Pro DJ link, which means you can extend the gear with CDJs and make the full use of that 4 channels. And another great thing is it will be compatible with Serato this year. It's another popular DJ software, so it's just a really great option for bars and clubs because of its compatibility of software and flexibility of playing from multiple sources. And here are a few things you might want to take notice on. So first, unlike DDJ1000, which you can just switch channel on the unit with just 1 click, you have to connect CDJs to make use of the 4 channels on the XDJ-XZ, which is kind of a shame. And also, the screen display of the grids is not as intuitive as the one on a CDJ. It's more like a computer software arrangement. And if I really have to be even more picky, the position of the performance pads on the layout is not the same as the CDJ2000 Nexus 2. But really, these 2 things I mentioned will be a problem only for people like me, who haven't been DJing for a very long time, so I'm not very used to the variety of DJ gears, and I started out from the CDJ2000 Nexus 2 and DJM900 setup with a USB stick. The XDJ-XZ retails at $2,299, which might sound quite frightening at the first place, but when you consider the price of a full Nexus 2 setup, which is like $6,500, and it's like 1/3 the price of a full setup, so it's still kind of a bargain for professionals. So those are my picks for DJ gears for you guys. If you ask me what my pick is, I'll say I really want to stay for the XDJ-XZ, simply because I'm too used to the club standard gear and I play within USB. But if you're just starting out and haven't been limited by your practice, the previous 2 would be some great choices too. I've been trying to make this video for a very long time because I know a lot of you guys really want to get into DJing, but all the terms and stuff are just very confusing. I've been there before. I know it's gonna be a super long video packed with information, so I really hope you guys find this video helpful in some way. If you find yourself lost in a certain part, always feel free to watch it again or leave a comment down below so we can talk. And finally, remember that you don't necessarily have to get the most expensive gear to be a good DJ. I know I'm not like a super experienced DJ, and I am actually using the most expensive gear, so it might seem really funny for me to say this, but believe me, as someone who has been talking about DJs and their stories for some time, I saw Slushy DJing on a controller that's even simpler than what I mentioned in an old video, and now he's still one of my favorite DJs to listen to live. So all you need to do is really to start somewhere, listen to a lot of music, get inspired, and really practice as much as you can. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. You can also go ahead and follow me on my socials so you don't miss anything from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! So instead of 3, that's 2, 3. And instead of street, that's 6. Oh.